Happy One Wheel Wednesday, everybody. My name is Scot Mendenhall. Boys, it's so good to be back in the studio with my friends. It's a beautiful day in Minnesota. It has been stormy. It is the wettest summer on record here. There's water everywhere. We were once called the land of 10,000 lakes. We are now 20,000 strong on the lake side of things. It's a great day to be around. We got so much to cover from One Wheel stuff. We got new 6-inch hubs for the GTS. We have an amazing guest today. It's taken us 2.5 years to get him on this show, but we did it. He's a legend of legends. He is faster than fast, and we're going to get to Dave Stewart in a little bit. But let me introduce my wife of 23 years. We're throwing a lot of numbers out today, so I hope you're staying with us. Holly, how are you doing today?
It is hard to track with you today.
What?
Hello, everybody. I hope everybody's doing great. A lot of numbers, talking fast. It is good to be with you.
Oh, it's so good to be with you, my beautiful wife. She was kind of a little snarky about her headphone situation today. She's like, we need to get new headphones. These don't fit my head.
No.
She wants in-ears monitors and stuff. She wanted people to do her makeup today.
I am not that high maintenance, people.
We got grapes. Somebody's going to drop some grapes in her mouth and fan her. That's where
all
we're
I
at.
need is a cup of iced coffee, and I'm good to go. And my one wheel, because I love my one wheel.
Oh, wow.
When was the last time you rode your one wheel?
Yeah. When?
I rode it inside because it was raining the other day.
She did ride.
So,
She is also, in her riding inside, put holes in our wall. I've never done that, and I've bonked in the house. I've rode off tables, all kinds of stuff. Never have I ever put a hole or even a tire burn on the floor. She put a hole in the wall. We got our good friend Lily.
Hello.
Lily, what's the worst damage you've done to property from a one wheel?
A one wheel?
Yeah. We were just talking about damage to. Have you rode your one wheel in your house?
Yes.
Oh, you had to think about that one.
I think I did recently. The one it got really wet, and then I wanted to turn it on and test it. I think I did.
Oh,
I don't remember.
When she says really wet, we got to clarify. We like to test things around here, and people are often about saying that, one wheels aren't very waterproof. She threw it in a lake.
She totally.
It was
I didn't
submerged.
mean to.
Fully submerged. We pulled it right out, and she rode it back home and put it in a massive tub of rice. No, we didn't do that.
No, I didn't even ride it for like 4 days.
But it works. It's still
it's
cranking.
fine.
It's mobbing
Yeah.
great. Mm-hmm. Okay, maybe when you get home, we could have video proof of you riding inside. That would be great. Because I'd like to know what your cat do. You always are testing your cat. She's got this video segment she creates.
Maybe you could get your cats to ride a one
Oh,
wheel.
come on.
Oh, yeah, that would be fun.
Maybe Roy would totally do that.
What would your cat do to a one wheel?
Okay, we'll see when I get that
Then
done.
we'll play it here. It'd be great.
Maybe this
It'd be
weekend.
wonderful. But we're hoping everybody's doing well. Jump in the chat. Today we are covering a lot of different things. We got one of our house favorite pros. We say that a lot, but we've been watching Dave
him
Stewart.
and his whole family.
Yeah, and their dog.
Yes, so cute.
Their whole family's just awesome. But we've been following Dave since, we're OG one wheel family here, watching the first race for the rail, and he's made it always in the race for the rail. Been fun to watch him, root for him, all those things.
Talk about a legend.
Yeah,
yeah, he is a legend.
When you come to put together the legends of sports, you go, hey, this girl's been around for a long time. Here he is. Now, he don't like that kind of talk because he feels old. He's a young pup.
He's still so good.
He's young.
I'm not saying he needs to ride in the legends category. I'm just saying he is like the legend.
He's one of that's stuck around.
Yeah.
There's been a lot that have started, but this guy's still around and riding well, fast. I got a chance to hang with him for several days out in California a year ago. Dude's fast. I couldn't keep up with him. I needed to put a leash around him so he could pull me around and at least keep me a genuine human. I mean, just a good, genuine human. So let's get to it's like we've been introducing him for a while here, but nonetheless. Look, I got to ask a question. What is on your wrist? Is that a scrunchie?
Scrunchy.
Yeah.
It's awfully thin.
It's very small. It's leaving marks on my wrist.
Why are we downgrading the size of our scrunchie?
My hairdresser got it for me. I got chocolate on my wrist.
Oh, wow.
Excuse me.
Yeah, and on camera she likes to lick it. That's why she's got the pizza behind her.
I have a lot of freckles, and I know them well enough to know
so
the
then
difference.
that's chocolate. But how do you know that's not dirt or poop?
It got on my thing.
How do you know that wasn't?
This is live in action.
How do you know that wasn't something other than chocolate? Did you just eat chocolate?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have these little healthy Reese's cups.
Chocolate. Hold on.
2 grams of sugar.
If you think the word chocolate and health go together, please write in the chat you agree.
I don't know.
No,
they're from Costco.
If it's like dark chocolate, and
it is
dark
chocolate.
Chocolate, healthy, and Costco.
Dark chocolate.
No 3 words are
natural
not in a sentence.
peanut butter. Better for you than the actual thing.
Is that what you're saying?
Not a whole lot of fillers.
Not a whole lot. Okay.
Something sweet.
I'm not a chocolate guy. Okay, we have some new real estate here. We have a fresh iPad case, it's all white. There's not one sticker on there. I like to sticker it up.
There's
It's
some
up
dirt
for
or
grabs.
chocolate
Who
on
would
there,
like
though.
to have their first sticker to be on this? Send it to us. We'll put it on there. We're leaving it as a blank canvas. Well, I've tried to attempt to put a few stickers on it.
I wouldn't open it up to put
I
what
wouldn't put
everybody
any
sends.
stickers
Why?
on
Yeah.
that.
If it's
I
not
like
cool, I
the
won't put
clean
it on.
look. I have the
I
clean
like
look,
the
so I
sticker
like
up
the clean
look. The white's too clean. Put stickers on
You
it.
already got enough going on.
I do.
It looks so fresh.
It looks too fresh. It looks like a doctor's office. Get it out of here. Get it out of here. I'm not
Fresh
down for
and
this.
sterile are two very different
Yeah,
things.
but they go hand in hand.
A doctor's office is
I gotta
sterile.
also give us a little props to Onewheel for a second. These are some of their latest T-shirts.
Yeah.
This is for their 10-year anniversary. A little pose for everybody.
Thank you. 10 years.
Okay.
That's awesome.
But it's like one of my favorite. Like
Okay.
the material is awesome.
I know you keep saying that.
I don't
about
know
the-
what it is. And
There's
like the
something about the
sleeves,
sweatshirt.
the sleeves don't
Quite nice.
they don't look like wings.
It's
They
not-
make it look
it's
like
not
I work
your
out.
average T-shirt.
yeah, they
people.
make
Yeah.
it. I thought you worked out today.
Yeah, I did. I ran
Okay,
this morning.
you are
Well,
gonna
no,
have
that,
to do.
but that doesn't have anything to do with your upper body.
And then-
You're gonna have
Yes,
to do
it
another
does.
intro.
You think the six pack is from me just like doing sit-ups?
yeah,
or
but
something?
you said it makes you look like you work out, like you
Yeah,
work
my
out your
arms are
arm.
swinging. I put weights in my hands and run.
Well, then,
go.
then it for sure looks like
We need
you work
another
out.
intro for our
For-
guests.
Yeah,
today.
he's
Yeah,
probably
let's-
sitting here like, what?
No,
Did they forget
Dave,
about me?
What I love about Dave is when I'm around, he does sit back, smile, and chuckle at me
He
a little
does,
bit
yeah, he thinks
because
you're-
he is much more reserved than me.
I think he thinks
we had to
you're
have a
weird.
pre-phone call to make sure that I toned it down a little bit. So we're gonna let's get to the introduction because we're excited about this, everyone. This is the legend of legends in the sport of one wheel. He's been riding one wheels almost out of the womb. He just didn't know it. He is faster than fast. He defines what is possible on a one wheel. When you say you can't do it, he says, watch me. Age is just a number to him. It doesn't define him what he does. He wakes up in the morning and says, how can I go fast? When there's snow out there, he jumps on another kind of board and goes fast down a mountaintop. When you're scared, he goes, I'm just waking up. It's his Folgers,
Wow.
his fear. He starts the day with a cup of fear, everybody. Downs it and says, I want some more. Everyone, this is the legend of legends, the one and only Dave Stewart, everybody.
Wow, Dave, what do you think about that
Welcome, Dave.
introduction?
How we doing, Dave?
Wow. That's all I can say is wow.
My
That's
favorite
quite
part
an
was when you're
introduction.
sleeping,
Thank you,
he's
Scott.
waking up.
Yeah.
When
We
you're
gotta
sleeping.
get you on Race for the Rail, man.
That's
Gotta
what
be-
every-
I've been saying that for years, Dave.
Yeah, how do we make that happen? Well, I mean, they're going to be there, so
I think it's a good idea. Yeah.
yeah.
We're coming out. We're making every effort to get out there. And so we're going to try to do some podcasts from there as well to cover the whole week because there's so much that happens that week that the fans just don't get to see because everybody's busy working. And if we can come out there and film it and just cover the things we're allowed to cover, I think it'd be really cool.
I think my favorite line in that was, "Fear is his Folgers."
Yeah, that was good. Are you a coffee drinker, Dave?
Keep up with it all.
It was
What?
so
Yeah. Are you a coffee drinker?
No, I don't drink much coffee anymore. Mostly on the
anymore.
bus. Drinking a Yoo-hoo right now.
Makes sense.
Well, here's the most people think I write all that stuff down. If you asked me to write it down, it probably wouldn't be near as good. It's that
And it won't ever
spontaneous,
be the
just
same.
yeah. Like
Yeah.
we do another introduction for you on here, it'll be something completely different because something else will come in my mind. So, but we're excited. It's been like forever to get you on here, and so we're excited to have you. We didn't even mention in his intro. We should get straight to like outside of your raw talent and abilities in your beautiful face. You created something that the community need, which was hands down, pun intended, best wrist guards on the market. Right here, okay? So these are the Rippers. These are definitely my favorite because it's
That's probably the household favorite.
yes, because you have double protection. You have one on the top and the bottom. But,
Mom approved.
they're easy to put on. You can change the pucks. I like riding with the two different colors. I like the black and red. Just a little bit of swag.
Yeah.
But seriously,
Yeah.
let's get straight. How did you make these? Like I look at this going, where do you even start? Like how did you come up with this idea?
Well, riding one wheels, one of the first things I noticed was if you're going to be testing the limits of it and, trail riding in general, eventually you're going to fall, you're going to put your hands down and, to avoid other injuries to other parts of your body, the most important thing is to put your hands down and absorb the impact and roll with it as best you can. And I was breaking wrist guards left and right, and looked at what was out there, and what I saw was no one really paid much attention to the wrist guard market since rollerblades in the 90s.
Hi, true.
So, I had some things I'd like to see just out, or, improvements on the products that were out there. And, no one was really interested in updating their product lines, like I said, for decades. So, saw that as an opportunity and a way to be involved in the one-wheel industry, which was, really what I wanted to be doing. I think a lot of us just wanted to be involved in the industry. And I saw wrist guards as, over time, maybe, just as important as the equipment. The equipment changes, but you're always going to need protective gear. So, whether we're riding something totally different in 10 years or not, you're probably still going to be wearing wrist guards.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's genius. I mean, they are high quality. Like, out of all the other wrist guards we've been sent over time, we put these on as instantly like, oh, that's not like other wrist guards. It's not just a little puck. It's got this whole little piece of plastic. Let me put it over here so everyone can see it. That protects everything. So it's not just protecting like road rash on your palms. It's keeping you from hopefully breaking your wrist. So well done.
Those are designed to take some impact absorption before your wrist ever impacts whatever surface is you're falling on. And some of the other stuff out there is more focused on, I think, like longboard, skateboarding.
Yes,
where you're sliding on a hard surface like a road. So kind of two totally different designs. And my focus for me and my riding was always impact absorption, being able to put my hands down and not hurt my shoulder or other parts of my body.
Right.
Have you ever created or invented anything else besides the function wrist guards?
That's a good question.
I've done a lot of software stuff, never physical goods. I never really worked on or sold any tangible goods prior to function. I do have like almost 20 software patents in my name.
What?
Oh, that's so cool.
We are the presidents of a genius. Albert Einstein.
That's awesome.
Modern Albert Einstein right here. Love it.
I haven't really made any money on it, so there's...
You don't need to make money, man. Inventors
just the fact that you were able to do it.
Here's the deal: the ability to dream stuff up and then make it so. Most people just
dream.
And I miss that. I haven't done a software project in a number of years, but that sitting around just saying what is really fun, and then making it.
That's so good. Okay, well, I alluded to what you do. So you live up in the mountains somewhere, way up there by yourself, like he's running on a generator today. Like he's up there. And
he's got his family.
Yeah, I'm not saying he didn't have his family. I'm just, he's probably not as remote as I'm saying, but nonetheless, you one wheel by summer in spring, but when that white fluffy stuff started falling, you switched to what sport?
I'm like 90% on a snow skate these days, so it's much like a one wheel. You're going pretty fast, come off at speed sometimes. No attachments, just riding down a mountain on a skateboard. So I think I strapped into a snowboard 3 times last season, 2 or 3, and I skied probably 4 or 5 times. I grew up skiing, so that was my first snow mode of transportation, and I try to mix it up. It's fun to do a little bit of everything now, but I'm mostly snow ski.
Not free foot gang. Everybody catch how he dropped that
in there.
Free foot gang. You know what? I wore that shirt. I was out in Ohio last week speaking at a camp, and I wore that shirt. Everyone thought I was, because they're not in a one-wheel community or gang.
At all.
They thought
They wanted you to free the dogs.
No, they were thinking I was talking about running around shoeless. That's what they thought I was.
Dogs.
Yeah, that's what they thought, and I was like, "What? No."
And then definitely I walking around town. I see people like look at your shirt and pause, and they're just like staring at your shirt, don't really say anything, and everybody just keeps moving. But it's people notice it.
Okay, so on that topic, you brought it up on foot hooks and
you brought it up.
Hookers.
You brought it up.
What are the other overlanders? Piece of metal thing that they got going. What are the overlanders? They're not
foot hooks. What do you mean?
Yeah, they're called overlanders.
But
they have
flight fins?
various models, I think.
Yeah, thank you.
Overlanders,
Okay, so
All kinds of
where do you sit on that? Do you are you poking the bear with the shirts, or do you really waving the flag for, hey, let's not hook in, let's keep the sport where we're riding the board without any kind of bindings?
No, definitely poking the bear, just having fun with it. Like the gang part of it, maybe that's not great, but we've got red and blue shirts, so there's no gang territory or anything like that. But, no, definitely just poking the bear and having fun with it. I prefer to ride without being attached to the board in the summer and winter. I definitely committed to seeing how that stacks up against everybody, with hooks, whatever, and see how that looks in terms of the results for the year. So I'm definitely committed to doing that. It's not that I can't ride those. No one tells me I can or can't ride anything.
Right.
And I just have chose not to. And for sure we'll at least see this season through and see how I stack up. I really hope I make it to race for the rail. I think I can. But, I knew before the season started that that's a possibility that you might not make it. But we'll see.
So I hear a couple things when you're talking there, Dave. One, you're not married to no foot hooks, so there's a chance next season we see you with some. So if any brand wants to sponsor him and tell him to, here you go, where.
I'm not going to never try them. I'm never going to say never. I'll never try them out. And that's not what I was getting at. I just, with the whole free foot gang and t-shirts and everything too. And my first conclusion with all this was you can't exclude people from races. So you can't say, oh, you can race those here, go somewhere else. That's terrible. And, no event organizer that is in it for the right reasons is going to do that or wants to do that.
Yep.
And you can't tell people what they can and cannot do with the boards. As a sport, we should be trying everything, and whatever is the fastest is going to win. And I think it's obvious that foot hooks are winning this year. If I can make it into race for the rail without them, it's it's an advantage, and you can't stop the evolution of it. And I think it's clearly an evolution of it.
Yeah, I think the sport's a little young to start shaving it down so narrow. I think that will I think you look at snowboarding and eventually they kind of started narrowing what was able. But I think we're so young. However, when I watch footage of you, I have the advantage to be some of the locations where all the pros are riding, and I see firsthand we dropped all of the pros hitting section or stage 8 of dirt surfers, and you got to see. And I purposely put it out on YouTube so everyone can look at, is there an advantage, disadvantage from foot hooks? Because I'm with you, Dave. It doesn't bother me. If you go, I have foot hooks and you
I want to keep racing, and I don't really have much interest in riding with hooks. I didn't like that maybe it means I don't race anymore. But that's my issue, and we'll see where.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But we have video footage.
It's an advantage, but it's not overcomable. And
watch this video for everybody at home.
More fun this year racing than I have in years. Part of that is the S and the new power, but part of it is that challenge of it too, and it's fun. I'm having
it's
more
a new
fun
motivation.
New motivation. Yeah. But for everybody Dave's a good rider. Let me just wave his flag of how good he is. He's good. Good. And so here, look at this video. This is a very difficult feature in the middle of the woods. And look, he's come ripping down here, hits that, no foot hooks at all. Stays on the board, hit it again, because he is, you're mobbing here, man. There's no...
That's awesome.
You don't come off the board.
This is the one so many people struggled on.
Oh, yeah, so many people smacked that tree right there.
And you made it look so easy, Dave.
Flawless.
It's so clean.
How many times would you say that you practiced it?
One time.
Nice.
I practiced it a few times last year, and I found either you're going to do it or not, and it's best to just go to the race and do it.
That's
awesome.
I think that's a little I think that feature is doable by Onewheels. I think it's what's between the ears is going to get you over that or not. I don't have it between the ears, so I don't ride it, okay? So, like, there's no attempting it for me. But I watch it, and it's just like, I was in awe. I tell you this, as watching this sport, when you see somebody do something, and it's like, wow, that was athletic, it draws you in a little bit more. And I just watched you go over it in that moment. It's like, that's an athletic move.
That's even when
equipment didn't help.
Yeah, well, we remember even watching the old footage of Race for the Rails, like how fast, on
XRs and pluses.
it was amazing. It's amazing to watch. You'd be able to maneuver around every different obstacle.
Yeah, mad skills, man.
But yeah, it wasn't like I chose not to practice that much because I decided either I'm going to do it when it counts or not. I practiced the first feature in the pro segment a bunch of times, and I only did it once or twice successfully. And then when it came time for race day, the pressure's on, and I did okay. But sometimes stuff like that, I think the pressure actually helps.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
That's why I excel when I race Lily. I get under so much pressure of beating her that
Yeah, maybe I should start riding with foot hooks to
give you an
get
advantage.
because I don't have an S. It might be easier to just get foot hooks and.
Wait, so now you're saying the S? The
Now
S
he
is my
beats
advantage.
you because of the S.
Oh yes, well that and the pressure you put on, it's just too much.
It's too much, overwhelming.
It's too much. Life has enough stress of its own.
Okay,
It's fun though.
So you just let's talk about the event that was just this weekend. As you were eyes on the ground there, how did Seek and Shred go? One of the premier races in the circuit of one-wheel racing. How did the overall event go? You took your family out there. Did you take your dog with you? How was the weekend for you?
It went great. It gets better every year. It really does. It gets smoother. It gets better every year. And I thought everything went really well. Shout out to the Sotos. They put on a great event. And I think everybody had a blast. I think it was a nice mix of, it really is fun for all ages. They have great Grom turnout for the races there. And if you want to hang out all night, there's opportunity for that too, but it's well organized and well separated, and it's an amazing event.
Okay, so it's one of those bucket list events for the Mendenhalls for sure to get out there. But so Saturday is a time trial event. What happens with that time trial? Because that's different than other events. So you have to place. Is this an elimination on Saturday to make it to the final round? What is it like to be able to continue to race through the weekend?
Well, time trials are on Friday, and then the head-to-head's on Saturday. So yeah, I don't know how many were in each class, but I want to say there were like around 40 pro men, and so you do your time trials in top 12, move on to race head-to-head. The course is so well set up for that. Nice wide track a lot of the way down, and it's just a really fun format. I kind of forget in between seasons how much fun it is, and you pull in there and it's just like smiling, remembering how much fun it is. And I just love that course so much. This is my 4th year doing it. And
how long's the course?
It's a mile something. It's not crazy long,
but that's a good ride if you're racing.
Hill, and that's my favorite. Like I just there's one downhill section at the end of it that's just this long, prolonged, not crazy steep, but kind of a little steep, and it's some of the funnest one-wheel racing of the season for sure.
That's fun.
Awesome.
Now you're making me regret that we didn't get out there.
Yeah, someone in the chat said it was pretty steep, but it was their first race, so but I didn't realize how I didn't.
It's really fun.
That's awesome.
So I should have pulled this for everyone to watch. If you don't follow Dave on Instagram, you should. I believe your Instagram handle is I am
Dave Stewart.
Dave Stewart, is that right?
I am.
Not
I am.
Yes, sorry. Go find him. He he's up to shenanigans, because what you're getting right now is you get this guy that's pretty calm and reserved,
chill.
and that's because it's him and me. We're the yin yangs, right? Like here I am, like and he's pretty chill. But then he's a little bit of a prankster. If you watched his Instagram story, I believe it was Saturday, you punked a bunch of people at the starting gate. Is that correct?
Well, that wasn't. No, I just happened to film that. I don't know. I don't even know who that was.
I was
But
gonna
I
say-
think he was struggling to work the gate, and he counted it off, which probably shouldn't do anyhow. And then he pulled it he couldn't get it to open, and it was just funny. I thought.
Yeah, because for those that didn't know, what happened was the starting gate just had a piece of wood that would fall, and he didn't pull it or something, and so the racers take off, and the
several
wall is
flipped over.
there.
Said, 1, 2, 3, or go, and then it didn't go, and some of them fell over the gate, some of them peeled out. It was funny.
I was driving for it was,
And I just was laughing.
and she's showing it to me, and we were laughing, going 80 some miles an hour down the road, and watching you. I thought you pranked people, so I take that back. He's not such a prankster, I
I'd
guess.
love to take credit for setting that
Yeah.
up, but no, that was all.
That was just accidental. Okay, fair enough. But nonetheless, it made it to the IG story, in which was hilarious.
Super funny.
Okay, so another breaking news for your family was this weekend, Emma, your oldest, raced pro for the first time, correct?
She did. I honestly still can't even believe.
Well, and then
That's
tell
just
everybody that's listening, how'd she do in her first pro women's start?
She got 4th in the time trials and then 4th in the head-to-head race too. So she
That's
fast.
amazing.
I promised I would embarrass her. So come here, Emma.
Oh, she's making it on, and my daughters are on
Yay,
the.
Emma.
Yes, our girls are on the tech table.
Hey, that's speed right there.
Congratulations, Emma.
Well done, Emma.
Emma, why don't you sit? Why don't you say hi?
Welcome to the show.
Come on, make yourself at home.
How
Are there 2 chairs? Maybe you both can sit.
Emma? How was it to make it to place 4th in your first pro start as a woman?
It was really cool. It was really fun.
Yeah.
I loved racing with all the women. It was a really fun experience.
And Emma, how nervous were you? I know that you knew you were going to be racing pro at Seek and Shred when we chatted about it at Dirt Surfers, but were you still really nervous before it all started?
Very, very nervous. Yeah.
But you did awesome.
Yeah, she handled the nerves really well. I was really impressed, Emma.
Yeah, my daughters were bummed they didn't get to be out there to root you on and just practice and all those things. So when your dad had texted me and said what was going on, I related to them, and they were excited for you. Excited. So that's pretty cool. So in your debut as a pro, are you going to race again as a pro? And is there a chance, I've not done any mathematical points here or anything, is there a chance you could be at Race for the Rails this year? Is there a chance?
I think so. Hopefully.
Ooh.
Mathematically, there definitely is a chance.
There's a chance. Oh, man.
All right.
This would be awesome.
Honestly, this year's been so fun practicing with her, and just we've been out riding together a lot, and it's been
That's awesome. Very cool.
And then I saw you the other day. The other day, I saw on the Instagram again. It's me trying to be detective or whatever. You're on a GTS. Are you now riding a GTS?
Yep.
Oh.
You were riding the S
Yeah,
at
I
Dirt
got her
Surfers,
one.
weren't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh yeah, you had it. You're hiding it with the. Yeah. I forgot.
Smart girl.
She had a GT and she put GTS rail guards on it, so it looked like a GTS,
Yeah.
but it wasn't.
But-
Now she has with purple
Nice.
GT rail guards on it, so
Yep.
it's like
Looks like a
sneaker
GT,
GTS.
Yeah, well, if you want colors, right now you only have one option to put on railguards for a GTS. So if you don't want it, you're gonna have a incognito GTS. That's okay. We're gonna be rooting you on. We want to see you at Race to the Rails. It would be so much fun to be able to root you on. Oh boy, would that be crazy if you won Race to the Rails 2024?
That'd be scary.
No, that'd be awesome.
You can do it. You can do it. You would be amazing.
Oh man, I
I
can't.
decided before we started practicing for the season, I was nervous about putting her on a faster board and the higher speeds. I talked to Austin about it a few times, and I was really nervous about the speeds, and Austin said, he's like, it's just so much safer.
Yeah.
You more headroom on the braking and acceleration, and if you're going to be racing and trying to win, you're going to be pushing it to the edge all the time. And for racing, I think the GTS is like a no-brainer. It really is safer, even though you're going a little faster. Everything's just safer.
Yeah, but I almost think on the safety side, Dave, is the GTS is just, even for those that are just going to be commuters, it's just safer. Like you said, you've got the braking power, you can maneuver out of the way, and you don't have, it just is. It's just safer. I'm not knocking the other products. It just comes with this headroom of power.
Right. But yeah, if you're racing, like that's the goal, right?
Yeah.
Just to push the board as fast as it'll go.
Yeah.
And you can do that a little more safely with the S.
Yeah. So let me ask this in the safety side of things. With that haptic buzz, are you one of those, for both of you, I'll ask the question, do you leave the haptic buzz, do you like that haptic buzz warning? If would you shut her off and go, no, I don't want that? Or do you like knowing that, oh, I'm pushing the board to its max, I got to be careful?
I like it. It helps me be aware of where I'm at on the speed spectrum. And honestly, in race situations, you kind of don't feel it.
That's what it disappears, doesn't it? If I'm on the street, I might get it and feel it, but it's what I've noticed is you want it. Did you say? I
think so, especially on the street. The consequences are higher if you're going down on asphalt. Like I said, racing and trail riding, you don't feel the haptic quite as much, in my opinion. But
right.
It's when, and it's so easy to go really fast on the pavement too. So I think for most people, I want to hear it or feel it on pavement for sure.
Right.
And it lets that sometimes you get the torque haptic too. We've been working on that, and that's good too. It helps you be aware of where you're at on the power curve of the board.
Right. I like those things because I see this a lot with the Veskies. They'll watch their phone as they're going and look at duty cycles and all that stuff, and it's like, oh man, I don't like that distraction of looking. I want to be able to feel and hear, and so I like that I have a bit of that warning for me if I've over torqued it or I'm just at top speeds and not aware of what's going on. So I like it, but some people that don't enjoy it, and I do think that those are riding on pavement. But really, I hear more people's haptic buzz than I hear my own. When I'm riding next to somebody, I hear theirs before I even hear mine. And so, okay, let me ask this, Dave. As you race, what's your go-to, we'll start with go-to tire. If you're picking a tire out of thin air, you're going, this is a tire I like to ride, what would it be?
I've always loved the Burris tires. I actually borrowed a board from Nick Payne for the first race I went to, and he had the Burris 555 on there, and I can turn that thing so well. I really like it a lot, as opposed to like the 6-inch Maxxis that I was riding before that. Really struggled to turn on that. So kind of fell into my lap, but I've fallen in love with that time.
And now you can't go back, in a sense.
Exactly.
Yeah, I got you. Well, we have, since we're on the tire gang and you brought up the hub, we've got the 6-inch hub that just dropped by Onewheel. They announced it on Friday. Pretty. And so we're gonna give a good old test to see if this is is it the best? It's XR style. They have a brand new tire on it. They've created their GT performance tire. It's 7 inches wide, so you get that thick, right? You don't have the narrow of a 555 or a 6.5. It's that 7-inch, but it's got the same treads, but you have a 0.5 more of rubber. It's not as small, obviously, as the 5, but you get the whole hub, the magnets and all those things. Like 5-inch hub I have is, I think they're 48 magnets. So I wonder if I will notice a massive change if I put this in. Do you gain more back by having those magnets and put up with the less rubber that you have? versus the 555. So I like that they dropped it as an option.
Of course.
I think it's a good move. I do. I'm stoked on it. Dave, what's your thoughts when you saw Onewheel drop in a smaller rim and hub setup? What were your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm excited to check it out. I got to ride Austin's a little bit. That's about it, just a couple minutes. But I've ridden a 6-inch hub on a GT and GTS before, and I like it. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to check it out. I don't have one yet, but I think they're going to be great.
Yeah, it's going to be, I think it's going to be interesting. I like, again, I think in all of this, and maybe you being around for so long, Dave, you even can speak to it. There's so many styles in riding that not everybody's going to like a 555. Not everybody's going to like a 6-inch rim or a 6.5, right? Everybody's going to start to gravitate what they like the most. And I do like a little bit more of a wider tire. Like on my 5-inch, I have the 6.5. Because I like that just a little bit wider. I don't like that nimble. I don't like that pine-ish feeling. And so I am excited to try the 7-inch wide tire on a 6-inch. I've never got to try that before, but with all the GT stator and magnets in there to see if it's like, ooh, that is the perfect ride. Now, everybody doesn't get the luxury like you and I do, Dave, to be able to drop some things in and test them and ride them, but it'll be exciting to see. Even if we recently dropped a GTS motor into Holly's GT, and boy, did that change it for her.
Love it.
She can climb now. She obviously doesn't have the high-end speeds and stuff,
No.
but all of a sudden, dropping in that motor, she can get up every hill that normally she'd be walking.
Well, and I think it's also, like you had alluded to, like the safety thing. Like for me, I am not a fast rider by any means, but like just to know that it's going to let me know what I'm overdoing or whatever, like I love it. Like, and the ability to get up things that I couldn't get up before, I don't fall off my board. None of that. I love it. It's awesome.
Yeah. Now, I believe you have options if we can go to the website. I think we have it pulled up as well, a thumbnail really quick for those that are interested in the 6-inch hub that you can now get for a GT S and GT. Let's put up that image really quick. I don't know if you cannot buy it without the stator. So, like, for those who go, I'll just get the rim. The rim, it's a complete package. You cannot pull, like, they're trying to, I believe, keep it safe and eliminate people pulling the stators out, is my assumption. In their
It's the only adjustment you can make to it is tire or no tire.
Correct.
Your only option is to get the tire and you get it at a discounted when you add to it, or just get.
But I get it. I get what it's a safety thing. Not everybody should be cracking open their Onewheel and pulling out stators. I watched, maybe I shouldn't give their name, but I watched an individual that might be right on the screen pull a stator out for the first time. That's where I learned it. Did you know that, Dave?
No.
I learned it. I learned from you.
Really?
Yeah. I watched.
No, I do agree. Like, yeah, they probably, most people shouldn't be pulling their stators out, and you get metal and stuff in there. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm all for parts.
Yes.
But yeah. Anyhow, I didn't know.
Onewheel's doing what? Remember a year ago, we're out in a meeting, we're talking about, hey, we'd like to have batteries, and we were sitting in meetings saying, hey, we would like to be able to repair our stuff and have all these things. And now, a year later, over 100 and some parts on onewheel.com that you can get. Like, how Holly ends up with the GTS motor in hers is that we had a stator that was out of warranty, broke. Just from my boys dropping off things, it broke. And it was like, well, what's the solution? We just bought a motor and switched out stators and stuff. And that was a cheap fix that we could fix. And then I love about the portal that they have now is you can now document what you're doing to your board. So they're staying up to, I think it's a way for them to track. It's a way to keep things under warranty. You can get your board registered and then track as you drop in the new GTS motor on your board. You register, that's on there. And I think it keeps the things inside warranty and things. So I like where they're headed, trying to make it easier to repair and then to keep track of what we're doing with our boards. Because I think inevitably somebody or someone or myself, we're going to do something to a board and we'll go, I don't know how to undo this. And we're going to have to send it to Onewheel, and Onewheel can check, oh, you did buy this from us. You did drop it in, and let's check it. I like where they're headed. It's exciting times to be a part of Onewheel. I like that they're listening. I think the coolest thing, Dave, in all of it is they're listening to those that were at the Rider Summit and those that are out there talking, hey, this is what the community needs. We see that with just this even. Here you go. You want a 6-inch rim. Here you go. I'm excited about where they're going with this stuff. How about you, Dave?
Yeah, I think it's really exciting. I think they are listening. I think having the factory team there every day is huge. I think they're making a lot of progress on parts and right to repair stuff. I know, people want it to happen yesterday, but I think things just take time. I'm not privy to all the details of what they have in the works, but you can see already they're making progress and they're going in the right direction. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, you can. Now, do you know this? I don't know this genuinely. This is like a technology thing. Could you because they offer now batteries. You can buy a battery and install it. Austin did a great video. I'm watching him do this. It's like, I wonder how much I could pay Austin just to come here if I ever need batteries installed. Because they're talking about you could get electrocuted if you don't take this off. And it's like, what? What? Like not shocked, electrocuted. And I was like, okay. Do you think you could take a GTS battery and put it into a GT?
I'm not qualified to answer that.
Neither am I.
I don't know.
Austin?
Yeah, where's Austin? Austin, he would answer.
That's the question for support, and that's I don't know all the details on the portal either. I admit I have not put in my boards in yet, or really taken a look at it very closely, but. That's definitely a question for support, and I assume some stuff in the portal will help answer questions like that as well.
The portal's sick. We have a fleet of boards around here, since every child has a board. It's just a cool way to keep track of those boards. And what it is so cool, Dave, when you sync it, when you fill it out on a computer, it syncs with the app. And so that's really cool that then when you open up your app, you can see everything you have done to the board, what parts you've upgraded with the serial numbers. The only drawback that I saw to it, and this is not a real drawback, this is just silly, is that you have to get your serial number off your Onewheel, and it's on the rail. But if you have a rail guard, tends to get muddy and dusty in there. I can't see my serial numbers, and I can't take a picture of the QR code. So I have to wait until I switch out my rail guards to get it into the portal.
You get it in the app too. It's super easy to get in the app.
Oh,
if you go into Board Diagnostics, it's in there.
I forgot. That's great to know.
So
that's funny
because
when you're on the portal, it just tells you these two places to find it. I forgot that it's on the.
Yeah, it's the easiest way.
I told everybody
That's what
you're
he's
a
here
genius.
for.
Yeah, this is why Dave's here today. This guy, he's just smart.
And you don't know a lot about the portal.
I know this guy. He's holding back on us.
He's a humble guy.
Okay. So let's ask this. You've been around in the sport for a long time. You were at the very first race for the rails, correct?
No.
Second race for the rail.
The one I won was
Third.
the third one, actually.
Third.
Yeah.
Well, in this household, that was the first.
That was the first.
Yeah,
it was our first, so.
No, it was
the first.
It was you became, it wasn't massive, and there wasn't a way to follow it, but your name popped out, and it was like, oh man, we're gonna root for this guy, and you've been.
They called me the sleeper.
The sleeper.
I asked my wife. I was like, They have a race for these things. I was like, I don't think the board goes any faster than this. The guy pushed it, and so I went to see what it was about, and. It was amazing. I met so many longtime friends there at Vail, and it was just my introduction to the sport as I know it now, and it was really spending time. I had too many people to name, but a lot of the OG Onewheel people that everybody watching would know. Got to meet a whole bunch of them in Vail, Colorado, and got started lifelong friendships with a bunch of OG Onewheel friends.
That's awesome.
Really, really cool time. we get to the finals. It was me, Jeff, and Bodie and Stroh. Just really fun.
Yeah, that's why. Like, and then you can, for those that have never watched it, you can find this on YouTube. It's there to watch. It's fun to watch, and again, you can then see where the sports come from and where it's going, because it's doing so much better as Historic's falling asleep over there, not switching as we're talking. Dave's like, why am I on here while Scott talks? Because my daughter is falling asleep behind the switcher over there. But it's fun to watch. And for you, you've seen where the sport was and is. What would you say to those that are like, oh, this is taking forever to get somewhere? What would you say to talk anybody off the ledge about, hey, come on, give some patience to the sport. We're trying to figure this out. How would you answer those people that are just saying, I want to get there faster? And where there is, I have no idea.
I think it's totally natural for people to get into the sport. You've never seen a one wheel. You get on one, you're like, oh my God, this is like life changing. This is amazing. I want my whole life to be about this. And like, I think of it like a line graph, kind of like the stoke goes way up and you're like off the charts. You're like, everything in your life is all about one wheel. And then it dips a bit and you're like, okay, you might have a crash or whatever. And then it normalizes somewhere in the middle over time. And, that happens on a personal level, as well as for the sport as a whole, I think. But when I started, I'm like, man, all these are going to be everywhere. You're going to see them. Like, people won't be using cars. We'll just be riding these everywhere you go, in like 2 years. And, that's like 7 years ago.
Yeah.
But it just takes longer for things to happen and, to gain that critical mass. And I think that's natural. And, it's growing. It's really cool. You have this core following, the core group of people. You go around to all the race events, and it's, for the most part, the same couple hundred people, but it grows every year, and you see these new people come onto the race scene and, the larger scene as a whole and social media. And it's been really fun to watch it grow.
And I think
it takes longer than everyone thinks. Everyone, gets into that space where they're like, oh my God, this is amazing. And you expect everyone else is going to figure that out in a year or so. And
right. Right. Yeah. I when somebody is in the experience you're speaking of, I go, okay, you want it to get there now and everybody riding it, but think about it. One Wheel's been around since 2014, and you just found it in 2024. It's been 10 years going, so like you gotta
put your time in.
Yeah, you gotta put your time in. We got also. It took you 10 years to find it. It might take a couple more years for people to find it, but I love.
It's in a great space right now.
I think so, Dave.
I think so too.
I think it's in a great space. I think from the parts they keep dropping where people can work on their boards, the community as a whole coming together. You just, at the events we've been to year after year, they are just getting better in every area, in quality, in racing, in the humans. All of it is just getting better, and that's fun to be a part of something from really, we came in the scene about the same time you did. We got a plus. And ever since the plus, we've been in. And it's been fun to watch the sport slowly but surely get going. And it's been fun.
And I was going to say, you alluded to it, or you mentioned it earlier, like probably most of us that have been around for a little while, one of the most favorite parts about it is the community, meeting people. And then like for us, like our families meeting and like our girls connecting and like we just, we met last year at Dirt Surfers, not this past one. And then to see them be able to just go and like you see a couple times a year and it's so fun. And that's the part that's like life changing. Like these people, you meet people that you
watching our 4 girls cruising around, 4 of them together was so heartwarming. And that's what it's all about.
It's great.
Yeah, I think with just our family, and there's so many more families that are involved, we are growing the I think potentially the pros of the next generation, right? That how cool would it be if it comes down to, and there's gonna be more women in this age bracket as they get older, but how cool would it be for a while that it's the 4 ladies battling it out for who podiums in a couple years? That would be so much fun.
Yeah. Super fun.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see where that goes. And that's the commitment to the sport. Like I know our family has, and doing something like a podcast to get more people to meet people and be able to share the stories that are happening. And so a year ago, where we really first connected was at Dirt Surfers, and
I remember saying, oh, "That's Dave Stewart."
Yeah, the legend.
What? And then I got to meet your wife. She's fantastic.
Yeah, their whole family is. And then you got a dog, and that dog's the cutest thing ever. I mean, my goodness.
Yeah, she came to Shred Fest with us. She had a blast.
What?
Aw,
That's
fun.
so cool. So cool. So last year, you like, I don't even know how you did this, but you ran into a tree with your face. We have video of it, never shown, because it's like, it was too, I just couldn't show it. Because some of it was, at that time, Onewheel was with the CPC stuff.
Right,
And I was
yeah,
like,
totally.
nah. But look at
Not.
your face
Oh,
and your helmet.
That ran
And-
into the ground on Crown of Thorns.
Dang.
It was the ground. Look at your...
Yeah, your helmet's shredded.
That helmet looks like Darth
Yeah,
Vader's helmet melted. Just hit that again. Like, do you actually remember this, Dave? Like, did you get? I mean,
Yeah, I didn't have many concussion symptoms. I think I remember getting up like, oh man, that was pretty bad. And looking at my helmet, and it was totally broken into pieces. And then I realized Emma was ahead of me, and so I had to, like, she was waiting for me. I had to go ride
Wow.
the trail
Get
out.
up. Let's
It
go.
was like right by the top of Crown of Thorns. It would have been much easier to ride back.
So when you got
But,
to her, did you say, "Hey, I fell. I need
I don't
a
think he had to
second?"
say
I
anything.
didn't have to say anything. She's like, "Oh my god!" She
Wow.
she was a little
Yeah.
freaked out.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, it's
but-
scary when your parent gets hurt.
Yeah, but here's how. This is how the legend of you grows. Is that most people would have gone, I'm done for the weekend, and that's no. You drive an hour and a half away to go get a new helmet.
Dude, I credit that fully to my wife. I thought, as I'm cruising back with my face and my helmet all busted up, the whole time I'm like, oh, she's gonna be pissed. And I get there, and the first thing she says is, well, we better go get you a new helmet because I know you're gonna want to race tomorrow.
Yeah.
And that was all her. Like, I didn't say anything. That was her reaction to it, and I couldn't believe it. I was like really impressed. And proud.
Yeah, I was
That's
a bit
amazing.
shocked because it was
I
like,
didn't think it was like, wow, they are going to close soon. I guess I do need a helmet, so thank you.
yeah, and you had to drive away a ways because
Yeah,
where.
I drove like an hour.
Which is wild, and I'm standing there, I'm like filming it, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this video because I'm not gonna post it. But here a year later, it seems okay to post now, and and you raced and did quite
But
well.
What happened to me that day is a great example of why, like I said, like I was afraid, like I don't really want to go faster. And I was kind of afraid of the power of the S and didn't really realize that I needed more power. In fact, I thought the opposite. I'm like, God, I'm going to go back to XR days. But honestly, what happened to me that day wouldn't have happened because I'm like dragging nose the whole way down the trail, trying to push the board to the absolute maximum, which is not what the average rider is or should be doing.
Yep.
And I don't think they are. But when you're racing, that's the goal, right? Like go as fast as the board can possibly put out.
Right.
And with the GT, you're just kind of dragging the nose all over the place to get what you need. And with the S, it's just safer. You're like, yeah, the top speeds are higher, but you're more in control at those speeds, and you're certainly not having to ride with the nose so low with more power like that. So again, I never knew that I needed more power, but now that I have it, I realize that that's exactly what we needed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's a little bit backwards thinking. You think no, because that faster power, more power makes you go faster, but more power allows you to actually stay
Stable
level
and fight through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
You're more controlled in every aspect.
It's funny you were saying I can't remember if it was in Texas or dirt surfers in Arkansas, but you were saying, I'm a little bit of an old soul. I kind of like just to stay put. I like to.
I resist change.
Yeah, you resist change. Yeah.
It took me like 3 years to be okay with fenders. That's why it's going to take me some
Oh
time
my
to be okay with
gosh.
footholds.
That's hilarious,
It took
Dave.
like 3 years for fenders. It might take longer for footholds. We'll see.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. I was
That's
like, wait.
so funny.
Recognize.
I was like, wait, you had problems with a fender?
Yeah, I don't like change, but finally I've met someone who.
Oh, I don't need that.
As his pants are soaked with mud. Yeah.
Yeah, it was dirt surface. I'm like, okay, fenders are pretty cool.
Yeah, fenders are great. I can actually stay on my
Sure.
board.
That's
Okay, let's ask this question. Would you ever dabble with a vest, or are you just like, nah, I'm not that kind of guy where I want to have to mess with the board too much, or are you just straight up, no, like for me, I'm not a vest guy. I got no problems with people doing that stuff. I got the time to mess with. I want to get on my board.
Yeah, no, and I'm not crapping on Vesk at all. If I have more time, I might play with it more. Full disclosure, I tried a Vesk and bought all the stuff and put it together myself and got it working, but had some hardware issues with the controller. I think in early 2021, and I went through a couple hardware issues. Not saying all the hardware is like that, but I had hardware problems. And meanwhile, you're like trying to figure out, is it software, and are my settings right? And I think it's come a long way since then, but I never really did get up and running with it. And yeah, I mean, what I realized through that process was I just want to ride. Like,
Yes.
Something that works, like a relatively simple mode, like even the settings in the FM app, like it's a lot for me sometimes, and I get nostalgic. I'm like, man, I wish I just had mission. Simple. But if you are the type of person and have the time and resources to do the DIY stuff almost at a hobbyist level, then that's great. And I think I'm all for that freedom and people being able to do that. For me personally, I just want something that I don't have to, like, even with FM products, like I used to try to repair and do things with XRs a lot, and I don't want to do that. Like I just want to ride. And I'm busy with other aspects of my life where I don't have time to be working on boards all the time. So that was kind of my experience, but I haven't messed with one in quite a long time.
Yeah, and that's where I come from, and I think people do take it as I'm against Vesk, and I'm not. I just don't have. I would rather be riding my board and building trails, like, because I'm out there tweaking our trails around here. Every time I go to another race, I'm trying to build our trails here so that our kids can continue to practice their sport and try the drops.
Whether it's parenting or trail building, like there's all sorts of other things that I would rather put the time into than, perfecting my tune or any of that stuff.
But people don't want to build trails, so I think people think they need to be doing exactly what I'm doing. I'm like, no. You build your Vesk and help push the sport with that. That's wonderful. I just would rather be building the trails than do that. That's not telling somebody to do what I'm doing. I just am not a DIY guy that wants to sit there. Maybe in the winter when it's snowing in Minnesota and it's like, okay, maybe that's the time I might do that, but I still that's not what I want to do. So let me ask this on that, and then we're going to kind of land the plane for you. When it comes to racing, Dave, and I know you don't ever want to offend anyone, but you're racing against Vesk in a one-wheel. Is that like, do you think we should separate Vesk and Onewheel in a race category situation out there, like at these events, or just let it be and let's keep finding out who's got the fastest board? What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's interesting and helps things evolve to just all race together and see what wins, whether it's foot hooks or, the Vesk controller, whatever. Let's see what's the fastest, and we'll all get better from understanding those results, I think. So
yeah,
there's lots of other sorry, my laptop's going to die. I'm just plugging it in. I think there's a lot of other dynamics at play there that, I don't know what the best answer is, but
yeah, I I don't think anyone does. I don't think anyone does. As Dave's plugging in his laptop, as we said earlier, he's running on a generator, so you don't have very many outlets when you're running on a generator. But I don't think anyone has the answers at the moment. That's why we're asking these questions. Is what are the answers
I think
to
the
this?
event organizers are doing a great job, and they're doing the best they can. I think the folks that are running ORL are doing a great job, and we all want the same thing. Like, we all want to go have fun and race with our friends, and it be fair and accurate. And I think everybody wants the same thing, and I think everybody's right now coming together to make it the best that it can be. And I think everyone involved wants it to be the best thing that it can be.
Yes. And that's what I know there's a lot of opinions out there, and I have my own opinions. I always tell when I get an opportunity to speak in front of somebody, and I just talk about, hey, everybody has opinions, and they're like armpits. We all have two, and they both stink. I mean, because most of the time we're sharing opinions that we have no actual information on. It's just an opinion of like, oh, it should be this way. And I like to watch a sport grow. Have you followed? I know you said you're into snowboarding a little bit, but have you seen what Shaun White's doing all of a sudden? He announced it yesterday. This is pretty big news in the snowboarding community.
I actually saw this.
Did
from
you see his?
Sophia.
Like 30 seconds of it, but yeah, I got the gist of it.
That he's making a snowboard league.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It is. I think we can watch what he's trying to do there, because obviously he's trying to create a league for snowboarders. And it'll be interesting to see what develops as its inaugural year. And it's a sport similar to ours where it's hard to spectate, and the following isn't necessarily to the masses. Now, snowboard has been around a lot longer than one-wheeling, but it'd still be interesting to see what they do as a sport, as they've never done a snowboarding league. So I will be it'll be interesting to watch that and take what
Definitely
we can for our sport.
Whatever comes of that, I think that'll be a great model for what we're doing. I hope that what Shaun White's doing, and just in general for any sports, it's focused on rewarding the people that are out risking their bodies and dedicating their lives to the sport. It's one thing to make some money off of it, but it's another to go show up at these events and camp out and do whatever you got to do to be at all these events and travel and really dedicate your life to the sport. I want to see structures in both snowboarding and one-wheeling that reward those people, because I've heard through the grapevine that there's no money in snowboarding either. Even like a bunch of the top names aren't making a ton of money. They're doing it because they love it. And one-wheel's the same. There's all these people out there just doing it because they love it, and we all want it to be a real thing and a real sport. And snowboarding may have achieved that in a prior time, but the word on the street is these days it's really hard to make a living as a pro snowboarder. And that, we would think of that like, oh, that's the established sport. How is anybody going to make a living one-wheeling and going to these races if we're not as established as snowboarding and they're not doing it? So it'll be interesting. I think I hear what Shaun White's doing, and I think of Live Golf. And like, I've watched a couple of the events, and to me it's like crazy. It's like Happy Gilmore. There's like huge rows of speakers right behind the people teeing off, and like people partying, and like they don't cut the music or anything. It's like anyhow, it's like the absolute opposite of the PGA and traditional golf as most people know it. But I think they're giving more money to the players than ever. And if Shaun White and others can do things like that in other sports, I think I'm all for that. Like,
it's
getting
advantageous.
The people that are out, putting their bodies and their money and their life on the line to do these things.
Right.
Like, I want to see things that reward them.
That is a good point. I think Shaun White. No, I know this. It's $1.5 million is up for grabs through the season this year. So he's already got the. Yeah, he's got. So I think that's his heart on it, going, hey, the sport is in all intents and
That's what
purposes,
you need.
yeah,
You need people that have come from the athlete side of things running it. And,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you can feel that they're rewarded for their efforts.
yeah, and I
I
think
like this, Dave. There's a spark. There is a passion about this for you. That's great. I love it.
and I'm with you, Dave. I want to see the sport grow, and I want I hope our podcast is always helping. And I don't know who watches it, right? But I hope there's stuff in there that, ooh, that's a good point. Maybe they've never even heard about Shaun White yet, and they're like, oh, we should check into that to help the sport, because I want this sport in 10 years to be where it's a staple on ESPN where people are watching, because it's when you watch the sport, you can't help but stare, because you're like, they're doing what? Going down a hillside with this motorized one wheel, it's like, no, this is not for the faint of heart. It's wild, and so it'll be fun to watch what Shaun White does. And I think, like, we interviewed Luke Austin a couple weeks ago, and he quit his job and now 100% one wheeling. You're like,
Absolutely.
wow.
I respect him so much.
Yeah.
And
But
love
yeah,
what he's doing.
it's showing off in his season
and
this
what
year.
he's doing, yeah, for sure.
Totally.
It's showing off in that he is riding very, 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 very well. He is putting in the time, and you can see it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
you can see it. Like, that's what it takes. Whoever's out there practicing the most, being the most in tune with the board,
yeah,
that's the time they're going to win.
yeah. And then you got
he's killing it.
Zane. Zane on the other side, she's putting the time in, and she won again, 2 wins back to back at her premier race. Let me ask this, as people have DM'd me this, and I know the answer, but we're gonna put it out publicly, and you can help answer it. She takes 2 spots then, because those are both you're automatically in, right? Because
If you
premier
get
races
first.
you win, you're in to race for the rail. Do they make adjustments for like the brackets now because she's taking 2 spots? Do you know how they handle that?
I think the wording around that was really confusing. I had to ask. I'm like, what does that mean? But my understanding is it's just, she has her 1 spot, and it goes, the way it was worded, it goes to the rankings. So nothing's really changed. Like, she has her 1 spot, and
Right.
it's still, and it's obvious that Zane and Luke will be in those rankings anyhow. So it's still rankings. It's still top
Right.
13 ranked, go, and like nothing's really changed. But the wording was confusing.
Yeah.
She just gets the max points for both of those races, and someone else doesn't get those max points.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean that's built into the ranking system. But yeah, it could have been said in a more.
Yeah. Not so. Wait, what did I just read? But what she does is puts a bigger gap from her to second place with maximum points 2 times in a row. But she isn't taking a place. She's not holding 2 places.
Total, they're killing it. Like they have a crazy amount of points.
Yeah.
But
It's fun. Now, hey, I don't know if you follow her on Instagram or anyone in your family does, but have you heard that she posted this morning, she got an earring stuck inside her ear. It fell out of her ear. It fell into her ear canal. She went to the emergency room last night.
I texted Jacob. I'm like, dude, get one of those little, auto parts magnets to pick up screws and things. And he said he tried that.
That's pretty.
Yeah, well, it's stuck in there.
Yeah.
Well, right before we went live, she's at a ear specialist to try to get it out. Apparently,
I think she said they got it.
in Oklahoma, they don't possess small, tiny tweezers. I don't know. I just am like,
It sounds like a real problem. Like,
Oh man.
yeah, you didn't even know you made a
but
joke
no,
there.
I mean, I don't mean to make light of it, but yeah, I think they'll get it figured out. And,
They did. Holly's saying they got
I
it.
think she said they got it out.
We wrote to her and said we're praying for her and stuff, and I was just like, wait, with all the modern technology, we can build one wheels, but you can't go to an ER and they can't get an earring out that you can see. I just was baffled by what was going on, not on Zane's part, but where she went. It's like, wait, I really feel like they should have been able to get that one out in the emergency room. I don't know.
She posted it. Looks
yeah,
like a
her
man's
and
hand.
Jacob and Colton and Connor got to come up, and Emma and I got to ride with them. Was it Sunday night and Monday morning in Tahoe, which was really nice.
Oh,
fun.
man, bucket list. That's
Yeah.
a bucket list. Top bucket list used to be in the redwood forest, and I did that last year with you. The next one is I'd like to ride some of those places I see you ride in Colorado. I'm just I've never
Tahoe.
Tahoe.
Colorado.
Sorry, I always do that. It's close. It's on the other side,
I'll
right?
send you a pin. We're gonna just come here. We're here.
You send me a pin. Yeah, there you go. We'll just
go straight there.
I don't think you know you're inviting when you go. I'll send you, and then we're bringing 10 people.
Oh, I do.
It's a small army.
Uh,
And 10 one wheels.
Yeah, I can get you a deal on hotel rooms.
There you go. Now you're talking. Okay, Dave, we've spent a lot of time with you, but we figure it's taken us 2.5 years to get you here. We probably will take another 2.5 years.
All the time
we probably need to take all the time we can today. We've covered a lot of material. You've shared a lot of knowledge to us, and we appreciate that. Good luck in the rest of the season for you and Emma. We're rooting you on. We'd love to see. It would be the first ever dad-daughter duo.
That'd be amazing.
And then wouldn't it be
gotta
something?
happen. We're gonna make it happen.
Yeah.
We're working on it.
Okay.
It's great.
Well, we'll let you get to practicing and stuff. And you're going to be at the last race of the season, which is Wheel Scorcher, right? That's the one?
Yep.
Yeah, it's a couple weeks from now. And then you hopefully will have a bid to Race to the Rails, and it would be sweet. Dad, daughter, podium. Have you something special. Now I'm talking. Okay.
No,
All
I
right,
appreciate
Dave.
you having me on. Sorry it took me so long, but really glad to be here and appreciate what you do.
Yeah, man, our pleasure. You guys are a great family. Be safe out there. Hope power comes back on soon. Enjoy riding your one wheel with your crew, okay?
Will do. Thanks, Scott.
All right.
See ya.
Bye, Dave. Oh, man, that's a
Good
great
guy.
family. Good family.
Great.
I could have kept talking to him. Like,
That's what we love about this community. It's like you meet people and then you just, it's
Wanna
just
keep
so
talking.
fun. You just chat.
Before we disappear today, there's other breaking news in the One Wheel community, and that is One Wheel or Float Life. Sorry, Float Wheel Life has released. I wouldn't say released. They've alluded to a couple new tire drops, and I'm a big fan of tires because that's one of the biggest.
Slightly presented.
Yeah, slightly presented. Nice choice of words there. But it's like one of the quickest upgrades you can do. That's very easy for most people to do. Change the tire, now all of a sudden your ride is completely different. They have two tires that are very intriguing to us. One is what they're calling. Well, let's see what picture we put up before we kind of get there. You need to follow the Float Life on Instagram. Here's the first tire picture right here. This is the Pioneer for a 5-inch hub. That's something special right there. Like
You love that tire.
I like that tire a lot.
And you like that hub. You like that.
I like the whole setup. And that I just like that's a true treaded tire. It's perfect for snow and it's perfect for trails. I rode it at Dirt Surfers in the fall or springish time. Love that tire, but I went to a 5-inch and I didn't have it as an option, and so I didn't ride it. I went to the Enduro from Float Life. If you haven't paid attention, we are a bit of fans of their tires. They do really good.
Like their tires.
And then they allude to another tire. I don't even know what this is like to make of this. There's got to be some kind of trail tire, but the Thundercat. One, I like the name.
What's that front like?
What?
Old school
Cartoon.
Yes. Was it Thundercat? Was that the cartoon?
Yes.
Or was it a character on something else?
No, now you make me question. Thundercats.
I can kind of hear the theme song.
The next generation, but what they make you just got to figure it out. Like of what? It looks really cool. I'm alluding to. It's alluding to. What's that?
It doesn't. It looks.
Yeah, it looks like it's for a 6.5 or 6.5 maybe. It's next generation. It's a treaded tire. It looks a little bit more beefy than an enduro tire. It just got me thinking. Whew. I mean, they just put.
What are they up to?
Yeah, what are they up to? Can't wait to try that tire either. We'll get a review on those, let you know, because obviously they're different hubs. So you will have, most people don't have two different setups on boards unless you're like a racer or something. So we're excited about those tires. We're excited about One Wheel is dropping. Is One Wheel headed in the right direction, going modular? Yeah, the answer is yes. We waited to the very end to answer. The answer is yes.
And you gotta give credit. If you were bashed them before, you got to give some credit.
Gotta give some credit. They're doing what they said they would do.
They are making some different moves, which
So,
is great.
Thank you, everybody, for being with us. Dave Stewart is now calling my cell phone, so we're going to end the show so I can talk to Dave Stewart on the after show. That's what happens a lot of times with our guests. We talk to them afterwards. Hey, if you haven't subscribed to this, seriously, why not? Please do. We got a lot of One Wheel content dropping. We have our own race that we'll be dropping next week, Monday through Friday. You're going to get to see the last One Wheeler standing. It is not about who's the fastest. It's actually who can use the battery they've got the most. It's a lot of fun. It was a fun race. We'll drop it Monday through Friday next week, so stay tuned for that, everybody. Have a great One Wheel Wednesday. Adios!
Bye.